test of a mandate, and we passed it.
Question number 2, Mike Sabin.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Finance, what impact is the current drought likely to have on the economy?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, well, clearly the longer the drought goes on and the more widespread it becomes, the greater the impact will be. We're beginning to see a decline in milk production, in fact a sharp decline in some areas, and farmers considering slaughtering capital stock, which will result in lower future production and reduced revenue for farmers. This may flow through to a negative effect on GDP compared with our most recent forecasts. However, there are some factors that may offset that, such as the increase in prices, particularly for dairy products, and the fact that up until the drought began, we had a strong production season for milk production. And thirdly, the production in the South Island will continue to partially offset decreases in the north. So we know the drought will peg back growth in the economy, but it's not yet clear by how much.
Supplementary question, Mike Sabin.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. What help is the government offering farmers who are affected by the drought?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, in this context, the government is mindful that many parts of the economy and many households and businesses have had to adapt their circumstances because we've had harder times, and the same will apply to farmers. There is some government assistance, though, however. Once drought has been declared, extra funding is made available to coordinate the local rural support trusts, which provide primarily moral rather than financial support. IRD has the capacity to extend flexibility to farmers on a case-by-case basis to assist them with smoothing their tax payments, and in extreme cases, rural assistance payments are available at the equivalent rate to the unemployment benefit. This is a package of measures actually put together by the previous government in dealing with floods and droughts, and we believe it's appropriate in the circumstances.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Parker.
Does the government still intend to be back in surplus in the 2014-2015 year?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, yes.
Supplementary question, Mike Sabin.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister. How can the government support farmers if there are long-term changes in weather patterns?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, it certainly can't do it through financial means that are aimed to support those in extreme hardship for a short period of time. In the long run, farmers would have to adapt to changes in weather patterns as they have before. New Zealand has been through cycles of wet summers and dry summers over the last 3 or 4 decades. Where the most direct government assistance comes is through its funding of research and development and through the primary growth partnerships, which look into improved production and into better drought management.
Supplementary question, Mike Sabin.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister. How does the drought affect the government's plan to return to surplus in 2014-15?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, it remains the government's target to return to surplus in 2014-15. There's no doubt, though, that a drought is likely to have some negative impact and make that task a bit harder. Treasury will be incorporating its view of the future impact of the drought into forecasts as we go into the budget, and the government will take that into account in making its spending decisions.
Question number 3, David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Prime Minister, does he